at that point, you're not there to play it safe. Like if you're not taking risks, you're not competing.
It's empowering, you know. I mean, anybody who's done a CrossFit workout, you finish your CrossFit workout, and you're like, I'm on top of the world.
Yeah.
Like a hunger for competition and like that super intense structure, routine. I still had that desire.
Listen to the way people feel and the motivations for doing the things that they did. It was like they were describing me to a T.
I'm not trying to solve everything for you, but I know that sometimes you just need somebody to listen.
Learned the most is how to fill my cup by filling others.
Welcome to the Hungry Dog Barbell Podcast. Join me as I talk with passionate people about their life's failures and successes, and most importantly, what keeps them hungry for more.
Anyway, we're back. We're joined by two return guests. Making sure we got Ellia Miller and Brie. How do I say your last name? I forget.
Russo. I'm married now.
Hey, name change. Name change. Good. That's
it
what
was Spamori. Now it's Russo.
In the beginning of what she was on, like I had to spell it out.
Yeah, everybody.
That's
why I'm so excited that I
spell it out.
don't have that name anymore.
Yeah. All right, so what are you guys? Leah, you're a CrossFitter. Brie, are you a weightlifter, CrossFitter, powerlifter?
Retired.
Spartan races. What do you do now?
Oh, God. I don't know. How do I define myself? I don't know. I guess I'm a weightlifter still. Coach.
So
teacher.
Oh, there you go. That's what you can leave
teacher.
with that. You know, you're a teacher of people.
Teacher.
Last time you were here, you were telling me that you were going to retire. 48 hours went by, and you signed up for nationals. I was at home on IG and found that out.
Yeah.
So what's up with that? Are you going to do that?
So I'm doing it. Yeah. I don't know how good I'm going to do, but I'm doing it.
What's your training now? Like, you were off for 5 months?
Yeah, I was off for 5 months. Didn't do ollie lifting for a good 3 weeks leading up to my wedding. And then a few days after my wedding, coach texted me and was like, hey, you want to do nationals? And I was like, these are the circumstances.
Yeah.
No expectation. Let me train 3 days a week until I'm off in the summer because I'm a teacher.
Yeah.
And then I don't want to cut because I feel like I've been cutting for 2 straight years on that.
It's not about no expectations, but like there's no way that you don't have expectations for yourself.
I mean, it's hard to jump back into training with expectations,
right,
knowing you haven't trained, you know? Like, when you train for 5 years straight, it's easier to have, like, I should be here. But now it's like, it'll be nice if I can get back up there, but it's not like I need to.
What would you want to snatch there and clean?
I feel like if I don't snatch 90, I'll be a loser. At least 90. That's the bare minimum, I think. Clean and jerk, I think I could easily clean 120.
Yeah.
But yeah, we gotta see where the jerk
Did you do dip cleans here 2 weeks ago? You did like high hang.
Yeah, high hang.
What'd you high hang clean that day?
I
feel like
maybe like 75 or 80.
Kilos?
Somewhere around there. Kilos, yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was heavier than that.
It looks heavier. The
Pounds, yeah. Did I ask you before, what do you like better, snatch or clean and jerk?
It depends on the day.
Yeah.
Now I like snatches.
Yeah.
Because I'm really working on staying over the bar and not hyperextending.
Right.
So.
What do you like better?
Oh, it depends on the day. Usually snatches, but sometimes when my clean's feeling good, clean and jerk can be really fun.
I like snatches better, but if I had to do like a lift, like if someone was like, yo, you need to hit 90% plus on a lift or you're going to die, I would go clean and jerk.
Oh, I would go snatch.
You go snatch?
Oh, really?
Dude, you're rolling the dice on that. Oh, no. How do you deal with that? Like, she's talking about, like, you guys are both fit and, like, good at your sports. Like, how do you deal with either being hurt or, like, just dealing with what you were before?
Yeah. I mean, I've spent the past couple months kind of dealing with a hip injury, and honestly, when I probably should have just taken a little bit of time to scale back, I just kept pushing and probably, I don't know if I necessarily made it worse, but I didn't make it better. But it's so hard, like, mentally, when you get injured, having to, like, take yourself out of what you're so used to, as it's part of my identity at this point to, like, be in the gym and be training, and to have to scale that back is hard mentally.
Do you usually train with people or, like, solo?
I usually train alone. just because I am at a gym where I'm doing programming from somebody else.
Yeah.
So I don't actually like take classes or anything at the gym.
Yeah.
So I'm just there on off hours, usually alone.
You were here with us today.
Yeah, this is awesome.
Still hitting your numbers. Like, that's different for me too, because I usually train like solo.
Yeah.
Like all.
Definitely makes a difference.
Yeah. Like,
Huge difference.
and then just like you were saying with the snatch and clean and jerk, it's like day to day with me what I like doing better. You know?
Yeah.
Like when I'm at my home gym, Lions Den, like like the dudes are over there doing their thing, and like powerlifting and shit. So like I can be solo and just focus on my stuff. Like I'm not distracted. I'm not kids, like I'm stuff like that. But what do you like doing better? You like training with people, or you like training with like alone?
I think it really depends on the day. A lot of times training alone can be nice because you can just put your head down and grind. But there's some days where when I'm not feeling it, like, you know, trying to do some brutal Metcon or something and just wishing I had somebody there to just suffer with me.
Like comic relief. You know, like, that's why I like training with people.
Yeah, comic relief is always good. And even just knowing that you're not suffering alone.
Yeah.
Like, even just knowing that there's somebody next to you who's dying just as bad as you are,
Right.
it can be mentally comforting.
Yeah. What do you like doing? We talked before about like having a training team, like a full barbell, but like, do you just like train solo or train with people better?
Yeah, I would never be able to train if I was training by myself.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes I like it when there's a lot of drama going on at the gym. But like, just to get away from that. But I don't know. I've been out of it for a while, so the vibe at the gym is totally different. So just getting back into the vibe, really.
Yeah.
It's I need an environment.
Yeah.
I need a coach.
Yeah.
I would never be able to do what you do.
Train solo all the time. Yeah. That's the thing that I started at Ryan's gym. So the coach was like usually always there. But I know how to be a remote athlete. You know, like so like it works for me. So.
I think some people thrive in that situation.
Yeah.
Which is not for me.
But heavier lifts, I do much prefer being like in front of and with other people. You know, like technique fit, I can't. If I had to train with a group every day for technique stuff, I would still be freaking 2020 September Taylor. Like, hardcore Taylor all the time. Like you guys can see.
I'm not gonna lie. If I didn't have all these people here today, I don't think I would have hit the numbers that I hit today.
Especially the EMOM, you know, too.
Yeah.
Like,
For sure. I was gonna say that's like kind of the part I like about like getting injured.
Yeah.
Like it's always when you're not injured and you're healthy, it's like push.
Yeah.
But when you're hurt, when you're legitimately hurt, and you have to back off, it's like the best time to work on those techniques things that you don't always save time for, or I don't save time for.
Yeah. And when you're healthy, there's always expectations,
Oh,
whether it's from you or from other people. There's always expectations, even if you try not to. Like, that's why I almost never do like benchmark workouts, like the girls or hero wads and stuff like that, because I'm always putting the expectation on myself to beat my previous score.
Yeah.
And like, it gets to a point where it's counterproductive.
Dude, I feel that so much because like you're never in the same like environment, or like just none of the things that went into it are the same as before.
Yeah.
You know, like even if you're fitter, you may be focusing on other things now. You know, like that sucks. That imagine if you like take 7 days and 6 days you did amazing, and that one day you did bad, and then you based your next 7 days off that. Like it's a horrible cycle.
But then there's so much that goes into that too. Like, did you sleep well? Did you eat enough?
Yeah.
Like that's the most annoying part.
Right.
Yeah.
What's your warm up usually like, Bree? Because like the 3 times that I've lifted with you, like she came to Brandywine like one time, and I swear
that don't count that again.
Let me tell this. Let me tell like
that was after I did 10s for the first time. Like
I'm warming up for like 45 minutes, and she's like just talking to me like giving me cues and stuff like that.
For one of the first times. Okay, that was not the time I was really sore.
It was the 10s. I remember you talking about it. I swear to God that her warm up was like slipping her sleeves on, and then like,
I don't wear sleeves.
Wasn't even slipping sleeves on. She shoes, and then she did re-rack jerks, and like it was like, oh, I haven't worked out in pounds in forever. I don't know what this is. So I'm a slide.
I did do some stupid shit that day.
Re-rack jerks too. Like not all of those.
But they weren't heavy. It wasn't a heavy day. It was like my lighter day. So they were not heavy.
She missed the last one.
Because I made a big jump because I didn't know it was on the bar.
Yeah, see.
I can't count.
Dude, I spend probably half my time in the gym warming up.
Same.
It depends. I guess it depends on the workout.
Yeah.
I don't really gym. My coach isn't a big like warm up for 30 minutes kind of person.
He's not.
He's not. So I think that's where I get that. But I have come a long way. I mean, I had to do a lot of PT.
She's talking shit. Like 2 weeks ago, she was like dip snatching. And then what we're talking about, I swear she was just coaching the whole time, and then I saw she had like 50 kilos in the
No,
bar.
I definitely warm up. I do. I know what to warm up at this point.
Okay.
I know how to warm up my shoulders. I know what it feels like to be warm in my hips and my hamstrings.
Yeah.
I definitely warm up.
So you don't have to waste
I
time
do a lot more reps. Yeah, I don't do a lot of extra shit.
Yeah.
Like the PT stuff I should be doing.
Yeah.
But I'm also not lifting heavy.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Well,
for you, it's
and
because
it's
like
not-
you're talking about like before you were always chasing heavier numbers, you know, and now you're like working back from that. So like
Yeah.
even when you're lifting, it's just different. You know?
It's just different. Yeah. And I think, I'm not doing the extra stuff right now.
Yeah.
Right now.
See, I have really bad mobility, and I've been working on that a lot lately.
Yeah.
So most of my warm-up is not necessarily warming up, but like mobility and body positioning, so that I can actually get into the positions on the lifts.
When I was hurt,
I have the opposite issue. So like sometimes like if I stretch too much, I'll pull something.
Yeah.
I'm hyperflexible.
Yeah.
So that's, some people just don't do well with a nice long warm up.
Yeah, but it's good that you know your body. You know like what you gotta warm up. When I was hurt, like
Which took a long time. Took a couple injuries to figure that out.
That's what I just went through. When I was hurt, like it was hard to warm up.
Yeah.
It was hard to even get positions like my ankle and shit like that.
There are some days where if I'm lifting heavy, my coach will specifically tell me, like, save your mobility work until after you're done lifting because you want to lift with tension today.
Yeah.
So there are some days where I don't quite warm up as much, but even just a couple, like, got to get some air squats in, like.
Yeah, like when I'm weightlifting, my warm up is totally different. Like now that I'm in retirement, quote unquote, I've been doing a lot more. My husband owns a gym, a strength and conditioning gym. So I've been doing a lot more of those classes, which are more like CrossFit.
Yeah.
And I don't even know how to warm up. You know what I mean? Like I'm like starting the workout and I'm like, this feels terrible.
You warm up in the first round.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, then I like get going and I'm like, oh, I feel great now. Like I'm moving faster. And I'm like, and then I said that to him. He was like, maybe you're not warming up. And I was like, oh, maybe that's it. Because I'm like running from work to get to this so I can get a little workout in.
Dude, so how was that CrossFit workout last week? It had like every movement in it.
It's not CrossFit.
I told her if she runs the clock while it's going
The
on,
only thing they had in there was thrusters. That was like real CrossFit-y. It was hard. It was tough. It was a partner workout. My partner was definitely slacking on the thrusters.
That's the worst thing to slack on too, is a partner.
Yeah. I mean, I guess not for me because the cardio is an issue.
Oh.
I mean, I don't mind the bike. The assault bike is not hard. Where I feel like everybody there complains about it, and I'm like, well, no, I'm not pushing it to the max, but everybody, none of them are.
Yeah.
They're riding it just like I am.
40% for me on the assault bike is still hurtful.
Well, we did the
Anything
skier,
on the assault bike hurts.
The skier.
The first round's fine.
Am I saying that right?
Skier.
Did I say that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we just got them. So we did that first.
I love skiers.
I prefer that.
I don't mind it, but you know what? When you were talking about your delt and everything, like I was like, oh shit, I don't have that. You know, like when we first started them, because I was like, oh, I can feel that.
Yeah.
And then I think it was in every 2 minutes or something, you had to do burpees.
You got to use your legs on the skier.
Yeah.
I do. I feel it in my hamstrings.
Hips and legs.
Yeah, hips and legs.
I definitely feel my hamstrings, but the first couple times, I was like, back front.
I'm much better at the skier than I am at the bike, and then the rower's like in the middle because it's like the high middle.
Oh, I'm the best on the rower.
Yeah. I used to be
You're
good.
short.
I know. It's weird.
You got big
Wow.
lats.
Yeah, I mean, you're strong.
Yeah, that's what it is.
That's cool. But I feel
I
like
have a really good deadlift.
Yeah.
And rowing is a lot like deadlifting.
Yeah, hamstrings, yeah.
So I think that has a lot to do with it.
So talking about CrossFit, last time you were here, we were prepping for the Open. How did that go?
Oh, the Open was good. Had a different strategy this year because, in previous years, the Open has been very competitive because you're trying to make, top 20 for regionals or whatever. This year, just had to make top 10% to make it to quarterfinals. So I actually trained through the Open and didn't taper until quarterfinals.
Right.
So that was cool. One and done, no redos, just see what happens. And I ended up
Did you get fired up to maybe try a redo on any of the workouts?
So the first workout, the wall walk workout, I had like a mental breakdown on Sunday before scores were due on Monday. And I was texting my coach. I'm like, Elena, please just tell me that I don't need to redo this workout.
Yeah.
I know I don't need to, but I'm seeing all these girls post about finishing the workout, getting a time instead of getting reps. Like,
were you read the leaderboard or just see it on Instagram?
Mostly just Instagram, and I knew that my score was going to be just fine.
Yeah.
But it was just mentally like seeing all these girls that I know and like regularly compete against.
Yeah.
And they're, redoing it, finishing the workout under the time cap. And I'm like, I know I don't need to redo it. And I know that it's not worth it. Like, that's just going to be another lost day of training unnecessarily.
Yeah.
So I was texting her. I'm like, please tell me I don't need to redo this workout. Like, I know I don't need to, but I need to hear it from somebody else.
Yeah.
And she texts me back and she's like, you're good. You don't need to redo the workout at all.
You were telling Bree she's young. Is she younger than you?
Yeah, she's 22.
Yeah.
She graduated from TCNJ last year with a degree in, I think, exercise science, something like that.
Yeah.
But she's incredible.
Yeah.
She is so good at what she does.
Yeah.
I was telling Bree, like, her programming is so intentional. Like, she puts so much thought and effort into every single thing she puts into my program.
Right.
And it has been huge. Like, I feel like the past 4 or 5 months, I started working with her in November, and over the past 4 or 5 months, I think I've made the biggest improvement I've ever made in this sport.
Yeah.
And you never had personalized programming before that?
I have.
Okay. You said you had a coach before that.
Yeah, the people that I've worked with before her, they were good, but there's something special about her.
Well, she also is young and ambitious.
Yes.
Not even just the workouts. Like, it sounds like you trust her.
Yes.
You have the
absolutely.
relationship that allows you to become better.
Yeah.
Without having to worry about stuff.
And we started out as training partners, which helps a lot because she knows me. She knows how I think, how I work out. She knows my strengths and weaknesses. She can, when she programs for me, she knows how she would approach it versus how I would approach it, and where we would differ or be the same in the workout. And she can use that to guide me how she wants me to approach the workout, or certain numbers or times that she wants me to hit. And she knows where I should be because she knows where she should be.
Right.
So that's cool.
Do you game plan workouts and there might be a difference? I know for me, when I was competing in CrossFit, if I'm doing a training workout, I know it beforehand. I'm I'm gonna break up here, versus going to a competition and just being I'm gonna just go.
I actually am a little bit the opposite. In training, sometimes I'll have, sometimes Elena will tell me, hey, I want you to try and break it up like this, or I want you to try to go unbroken or whatever. But a lot of times, I feel like training is where you need to take the risks.
Yeah.
So, if you're in training, try to go unbroken on the muscle ups, or try to go unbroken on the handstand walk, or whatever it is, because that's where you're going to find out whether or not you can do it. And there's nothing on the line in training.
Yeah.
You try to go unbroken, you fail the last rep. Okay, you fail the last rep, you go back up and you get your last rep in and you finish the workout. Whereas in competition, then when you get to the competition, you're in training, I got, 8 unbroken muscle ups and I failed the 9th. So if this workout has 9 muscle ups, I know already that I need to break it up.
Yeah.
I think her training differs from an average person that does.
Yeah. Well, that's what
Like people who do CrossFit are like, I'm gonna do the workout and then I'll do a competition because that's fun. But her, it's like intentionally, I gotta train for that.
Well,
that competition.
Hopefully, if you're a competitor, not even hopefully, if you're a competitor, you'll have that, like, just like you said, if you know you can do 9, the competition atmosphere will push you to maybe 11, but like you know where your breaking point is.
Yeah.
You know.
Do you prepare for? Sorry, I
No,
got the question.
No, I like it.
Like, how do you prepare for a competition? Like, as a weightlifter, we like taper, and then like eating is different. We have to weigh in. It's different. It's just like that's like an added factor. Like, how do you prepare?
Yeah. So I mean, there's never really like weigh-ins in CrossFit competition, which is nice.
Like, that factor's totally out. But like, otherwise, how do you prepare?
I mean, I do, depending on what the competition is, how important it is.
Yeah. Do you taper?
If it's an important competition, I'll taper. So, like, going into quarterfinals, I tapered. It wasn't a huge taper. It was maybe, like, a week and a half. But definitely, like, decrease the volume, just try to move well going into the competition.
Yeah.
And then in terms of food, I work with Meredith DeLamar from Functional Eating, and she basically gives me everything I need for food.
You don't have to think about it.
No, and she even has templates for competition days, depending on like how many events there are, the timing between the events. So it's like, hey, 30 minutes after your first event, you want 30 grams of quick carbs. When you have a 2-hour break, you want protein, carbs, avoid the fat, whatever. End of the day, wait an hour to be getting your fat and protein in. But she gives me my macros, she gives me my calories, she gives me my breakdown throughout the competition day. So I don't even have to think. Do
you do the cooking or do you like get a meal prep service?
I cook, yeah. Meal prep, I occasionally I'll order like from Eat Clean Bro is a good one in this area.
Jersey.
Yeah. But it's just
P3,
so
we use
expensive.
P3. Shout out to P3. Or I don't know if they delivered it in Jersey though.
I don't think they do. I've looked into it before.
Too, yeah.
How did quarterfinals go?
Quarterfinals was good. A little disappointing. I missed the cut for semifinals by about 100 spots.
Yeah.
I finished 231 in North America, and top 120 went to semis. Exposed some weaknesses that I kind of already knew, but maybe was ignoring a little bit.
Yeah.
One of those being wall balls. I'm on a wall ball program.
Like wall ball, like volume? Like, what about wall ball?
Yeah.
You got strong legs.
Oh, yeah. I've been talking with Elena about it for the past couple weeks. It is nothing physical. It's all mental.
Okay.
Like, I just have this mental block with wall balls. So for the past couple weeks, I've been on a wall ball program, and it's just big unbroken sets, trying to get past the mental block of, like, an unbroken set of 50 wall balls should not be scary for me, and
like
it
super
is.
taxing. Yeah, I feel that.
So
that's a good metric to like that like a competitive athlete needs to like have
Yeah.
in their bag, like no problem.
yeah, exactly. So been working on that. I had some good events in quarterfinals too. The last workout, the heavy snatches, tall burpee box jump overs. I think I finished 42nd in North America in that workout.
How fast did you
Loved
do that
it.
nonsense?
I think I was 3:18.
I'm watching scores at like 2:30 and shit. I'm like, oh my god.
That was fun.
Yeah, you do.
And then, so after quarterfinals, I did the occupational games for the military service member
So
division.
were those the exact same workouts?
They were similar.
Yeah.
The last workout, instead of snatches, it was overhead squats, and the reps went to 12.96 instead of 9.63.
Yeah.
So I made it out of quarterfinals without tripping over the 30-inch box. And then occupational games flew off the box.
Yeah.
I think it was in my set of 9. Saw my life flash before my eyes.
Been there.
Ended up redoing that workout the next day and did much better.
So you redo in quarterfinals. Did you redo other workouts?
I redid it for the occupational games.
Yeah.
I didn't redo quarterfinals.
Okay. You only had a weekend for that, right?
Yeah,
4
so
days?
quarterfinals and occupational games were very similar format, very similar workouts.
Yeah.
It was Friday through Sunday. 5 workouts, 2 scores due Friday, 2 scores due Saturday, 1 score due Sunday.
Yeah.
The workouts were very similar. But actually, I really, really liked, I think it was workout 3 for the occupational games.
Yeah.
It was, for time, 75 cleans and then 300 double unders.
Oh.
It was so much fun.
How long will that take?
What
the
was
clean
I
weight?
at? I think it was 95, 135,
Yeah.
maybe? I can't even remember anymore. I want to say it was like 7 minutes, maybe, somewhere around there. It was so fun.
300 dubs?
Yeah. So much fun.
That's a lot of dubs on my cash right now. And then 75 cleans.
What are the occupational games?
So the occupational games, CrossFit started it this year.
Well, the actual like qualifying for stuff, but they've had like as a category occupation before, and then they carried it over to actually being something, right?
Yeah, so
But
they
it's different.
had, so you can like make your own, or not make your own leaderboards, but you can make your own leaderboards, but you can also add leaderboards to your profile by adding hashtags to your profile. So they took 6 of those hashtags this year, and those 6 categories were military service member, law enforcement officer, firefighter, healthcare worker, teacher, and college student. And those 6 leaderboards, they took the top 10% on each of those leaderboards from the open, and the top 10% qualified for the occupational games. So occupational games, again, very similar format to quarterfinals, online, 1 weekend. Well, so the difference is for quarterfinals, that's based on continent. It's not based on occupation. It's just, leaderboard by continent. Whereas the occupational games is broken down by occupation, and you're only eligible to compete if you're in one of those occupations.
And what's the next step?
So this year there was no next step. It was just the occupational games online. They are. I think the idea behind it was to test it out, see kind of what the response is, what the interest is, because they're talking about potentially adding in some of these divisions as divisions at the games in future years. So,
makes sense, right?
So in future years it could become a qualification process. So, but as of right now, according to CrossFit, I am the fittest military service member. Although I can't necessarily claim that because, well...
Claim that
you got it. What you mean? We all saw it.
I mean, yeah.
Remember earlier when I was like, so were you the fittest person in your group in the military? Like,
Actually, kind of,
yes, I was.
So actually, last time we talked, I was in the middle of the qualifier for the Warrior Fitness team.
Yeah.
I won that qualifier, and I am now an at-large athlete for the U.S. Army Warrior Fitness team. Trying to get out to Fort Knox in person, but because I'm National Guard, having trouble getting somebody to agree to pay for me. I'm still activated. I've been activated for the COVID response in New Jersey.
Yeah, still.
But there's a girl who's on the Warrior Fitness team. Her name is Rachel Schreiber. Actually, now Rachel Vonderach. She just got married last weekend. And she actually qualified for semis. So she's at the Granite Games right now. So, yeah.
Cool.
So, I don't know if I can really claim fittest military service member because Rachel kicks my ass in a lot of workouts.
Too late.
You're up there, though.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm
the
up
first
there.
or second.
I'll take it.
So was occupational before or after going to Mayhem?
That was after. Yeah, I went out to Mayhem, I think in March.
So for the non-CrossFitter across from the table from us, Mayhem is Rich Froning's gym.
Yes, I knew that.
Yeah.
I knew that much. I did CrossFit when he was cool.
Rich is the coolest.
He's like the coolest.
Come on.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. We were out there for an athlete camp for the Warrior Fitness team.
Yeah.
Mayhem is the official program of the Warrior Fitness team now.
Oh, that's dope. Of course, that makes sense.
Yeah, so the team gets to go out for some athlete camps a couple times a year, and I got to go out for the one, I think it was in April, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a couple months ago. 3.5 days of working out with Rich, Ellie, Haley, Andrea Nisler, all of that. It was incredible. They're amazing.
Team training's going on right now.
Yeah.
They're training there too. Did you guys?
What an experience.
It was amazing.
Did you guys work with Henshaw when you were out there?
Yes.
Did you do like a lot of aerobic capacity stuff?
We had an aerobic capacity session the last day. He came out, took us through some warm-ups, took us through a little bit of testing to find like max power output on the bike, on the runner, that kind of stuff. And then we went into a workout. It was really cool.
Did you learn a lot?
Oh, so much. It was incredible. Not just from Henshaw, but from everybody there that weekend. Just like watching those guys, how they approach training, how they approach workouts. It lit a fire under my ass.
Right.
I came back from that so motivated. Like I'm ready for next season.
Yeah. Like kind of side question. What do you like more, like a Metcon with like heavy barbell and like hard movements, or like long like heavy breathing stuff?
Oh, I'm a heavy barbell girl.
Yeah.
I gotta play to my strengths.
Yeah.
I love heavy barbell. I'm getting better at the longer stuff.
Yeah.
I've been doing actually a 12-week running program with Chris Henshaw. I think we're in week 7 right now, and I've been seeing huge improvements in my conditioning.
Yeah.
Just ability to like maintain paces on longer workouts.
Right.
So I'm getting better, but I love heavy barbell.
Yeah. Have you ever thought about doing a weightlifting meet? Get back into that?
I actually did one a couple years ago.
You talked about before powerlifting came back.
Yeah, so I did a powerlifting meet out in California before I moved to New Jersey, and then I think my first year in New Jersey, I did a weightlifting meet out at CrossFit Del Val. It was like whiskey and weights or something like that. So it was a weightlifting meet into whiskey tasting.
Yeah. Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
And that was really fun. That was back when I didn't really know how to lift. But I've considered maybe trying
In your off season.
Yeah, maybe like trying to make it to AO or
like,
something like
I
that.
don't know, is there an off season? Like there's always
It's shifted now. I think they
Yeah.
kind of said it, but like, I mean, you could really ideally do one because you could have your strength
cardio
block.
training.
Lead
Yeah.
into that.
It would be fun. I'd definitely consider it. I have a friend who wants me to try a strongman competition sometime. That would be fun too.
That's getting big right now. Like, all my friends say it's until like, dude, like I'm picking up powerlifting too. Like
Yeah.
I don't want to do all of this.
I'm
Yeah.
I'm if it's not intentional, I'm not fucking doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why it's even hard just to like drop into like CrossFit gyms and like do all of my training and then do a CrossFit workout afterwards, because like I don't do CrossFit 5 days a
Yeah.
week anymore.
Yeah.
'Cause I'm doing my training like either I have to back off right now or like I won't go as hard to work out.
Yeah.
And half of my friends understand like scaling appropriately, but the other half of you just don't. Like, I have some friends that just write workouts and they just write the hardest thing they can, and I'm like,
I would just quit. Like I would just be like, all right, like that sucked. I'll never be back here.
there's one. No, I'm not fucking a superhero, so I'll just scale the workout, and they'll be like, dude, I'm not fast anymore, so like, if you write a workout so hard that like I scale something that's still a workout and I beat you by 2 minutes, then you fucked up. That happened. I'm sorry, I'm putting this out there. That happened this.
That's kind of why I don't really like. You are a CrossFitter.
Yeah.
So you can handle the intensity.
But you're also, your goal is to compete.
Yeah.
But
That's
she
why
did
my
say
interest
before she
is
came
not
here,
in-
what are you doing that day? So I can tell my coach, like, so we changed my programming that if I'm going to just lift that day, it's not going to affect before or afterwards.
Yeah.
So like, you're still smart.
But
with it.
like you train intentionally.
Yeah.
Like,
And that's
Exactly.
like that mindset is like kind of like the old CrossFit, like the original
Yeah.
CrossFit
That's why
of just
people
like
hate on it.
go as hard as possible every single day, do the hardest movements you can constantly. And for the most part, CrossFit has evolved so much from that to become actual intentional training with some sort of, I'm not supposed to say this talking about CrossFit, but some sort of periodization.
Like some sort of like schedule block periodization. Like some sort of cycle.
But it's not just like
a regular person too, though.
And it's no longer.
I went to a gym that was like, there was 2 owners. One owner did this week, the next owner did that week, and they just did what they liked.
Yeah.
There was no rhyme or reason.
Yeah.
And people were getting hurt left
Yep.
and right.
And so for the most part, CrossFit has moved away from like, all right, hero watt every day, 7 days a week. Yeah. And now it's like, you might have a day where you're just running, or you might have a day where you're just lifting. Like, not every day has to be a Metcon at your red line because that's not productive. Yeah. That's just going to break you down, and you're never going to get better. You're never going to see improvement. You're never going to see gains. You have to have intention to your training.
Yeah. When I was first starting, I was definitely one of those idiots.
Everybody starts that way.
Right? They're like, oh.
Yeah, when I started, it was, hey, show up, what movements you want to do today. And we just write movements down on the board. Then we pick some numbers, put numbers in front of each movement, and then go. Like,
the goal was always RX.
Yeah.
Like, scale wasn't even a thing. Scale was like if you were like injured, that's what you were trying to do. But like, I remember specifically one of the first people that like put it into my head was Pat Sherwood. And like years ago, he'd post workouts and say, for time or not.
Or not. I love that.
And like, that was a big change.
Linchpin has a workout like that at least once a week. Yeah. Pat Sherwood programs for Linchpin. And every week they have at least one workout that's for time or not.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's just a mind shift. So going forward, 3, you got nationals coming up. Like, what are you hungry for now, Ray? This is going to be good.
I don't know. We're along for the ride,
When are you gonna start benching, dude? You got.
I know. I have a powerlifting competition in August that I registered for, and I was like, I'll take a step back. Yeah. I got married, and the plan was like get married, make babies. So I have this. We're gonna go on a honeymoon. I got married 2 weeks ago. We're gonna go on a honeymoon in July. So if there's a break.
Yeah.
And we're not. I'm trying to have fun at my honeymoon, so I'm not trying to get pregnant after that. Nationals just kind of fell in the line, like, might as well.
Right.
Let's try it. I'm having fun. I'm not taking it too serious. I'm trying not to take it too serious.
Do you think about the competitiveness coming back, or are you like, I think
I always have a fire.
Yeah.
Come on now. Like, I'm gonna go there, even if I'm fucking snatching 80, I'm gonna be like, yeah, bitch, take that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care. But
she's saying that, but like, I was watching her snatch 75 last week. So how many weeks you got?
Yeah, 4 weeks now, I think.
Perfect little cycle.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. I'm excited to see what will happen.
Well, you said you would like to snatch 90. When will you put that on the bar?
Well, I snatched 80 Friday night. I feel like that was a good time to snatch that.
Yeah.
And it felt pretty good. So if I could hit 85 maybe this week or in a week and a half, and then I think we're on our way.
Yeah. Love it.
So we'll see.
Hell yeah.
What about you, dude? What are you hungry for?
Oh, man.
I have the start of a new season. You talk about off season.
She is killing it. So she's like, ready to go, right?
Yeah, I have a couple competitions coming up. I think in about 2 weeks, I'm going out to Commonwealth for the Rally in the Valley with Greg.
Yeah,
that'll be a lot of fun. In July, I'm going out to Missouri for the Monster Games with my friend Maria. That'll be a lot of fun. That one's programmed by Jacob Hepner. It's a 2.5-day competition out in Missouri. Partner.
Okay.
The last workout is brutal. It's like rounds of swimming and D-ball cleans, and then it's like a minute transition into a 2K partner row, and then a minute transition into a 2-mile partner run.
Oh.
It's going to be brutal.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun, though. And then September, maybe trying to do a competition out in Maryland if they've got some slots left.
Is that Indy?
Yeah, that's an individual competition.
Which
and
one
then
partner or Indy?
I like them both.
Indie.
She lied. She lied. She like indie.
I mean, I do enjoy individual competitions a lot, but I also really do enjoy partner and team competitions.
Yeah.
There's something cool about about being out there with a partner or with a team and just like yelling at each other to just leave it all out on the floor.
Yeah.
It's so much fun.
Right.
So I've actually got a team of 4 competition coming up in September in Wisconsin. It's the Big Impact Games. So I'm doing that with a couple of the other athletes from the Warrior Fitness team. Shout out to Jalen, Luke, and Emma. Hell yeah.
All fitter than me. Mad fitter than me.
So that'll be a lot of fun.
Better than us.
Yeah.
I think.
We just did
You strong, though.
we just did the qualifier for that a couple weeks ago. So
Yeah, all the qualifiers.
yeah.
Okay, 2 last questions. One is fitness related. Do you like in person or qualifier? Like
In person, 100%. I hate competing online. Even just like having to set up a video.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's the worst thing. It takes 45 minutes just to get the camera set up.
Do the intro and shit like that. 'Cause they ask for such nonsense. Do you like measure out? 'Cause
Oh, yeah.
You have to be 10 feet away
Yep.
from the camera. Oh.
Gotta show all the, show the tape lines on the floor with the measurements, show the height of the rope, the height of the wall ball, show all the weights, get the camera, making sure that you can see all the movement standards for everything. Oh,
That's
such a
important
pain in the
for you.
ass.
It's important for you. You're like, you move on to the next level. And stuff like that.
Yeah.
When I send that in, I should be like, all right, whatever.
Nobody's really caring.
Yeah, it's like, it's cool. It's like, oh, they can't see half of this. Trust me, it's fine. It's fine.
Nobody's watching this video.
Nobody's doing that.
Like in my years when I did like the Whatup qualifiers and stuff like that, I did the one like literally at Brandywine with Molly, and she's like, "Your videos like moved to the left a little bit." I was like, "It's cool, it's cool. Don't worry, it'll be fine." All right, non-fitness question: have you seen more of Star Wars yet?
No.
Bro, you had like 6 months since the last time. They put out like 3 shows. Like,
Oh man, I saw
Nobody cares.
a couple episodes of The Mandalorian.
fist bump. There you go.
I am a fan of Baby Yoda.
They got Gina Carano on there, man. She's hot.
I don't know who that is.
You are such a nerd, man. You are a nerd.
Nah, but if I showed you her, you'd be like, no, she's bad.
Probably.
So that's what I said. I didn't say she's a great actress or she
No,
pulled off the fucking. I am, but they be liking it out there. So.
Question for you. If I teach you how to make coffee, will you switch from bang
Coffee.
to coffee?
I can't make any promises about switching because I'm team bang. But I will drink.
Are you
coffee.
sponsored?
Yeah, but like
You're a liar.
privately.
Straight lie.
Privately, like.
Do you not like what it
He
tastes like?
sponsors Bang
Yeah,
by
right?
purchasing the
Yeah,
products.
exactly.
No, that's
I
what she's saying right now. I never like drank it or had anyone teach me
You
how
don't
to make
like it.
No, I just never
You
drank
don't
it.
need
He just
to make
doesn't
it
drink
to go to
coffee.
Wawa. You go to Wawa, they have it made. You just press the button.
I'll teach you how to make good coffee.
Not like a
Wawa's okay, but I'll teach you how to make good coffee.
Yeah, if I'm gonna drink coffee, I want to be like
You
the
want to be a
Bulls.
coffee snob.
Yeah.
You want to go from 0 to 1,000.
Yeah, nah, million.